Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to talk about who will the Charlotte Hornets be signing in free agency. So before we start today's video, I want to hear those lovely thoughts down below on who do you guys believe the Charlotte Hornets will be signing in free agency. So let's get right in today's video. So what do you guys think? Again, let me hear those comments. They're gonna sign. I have a few ideas, and let's get right into it. They need a center, and obviously I think the perfect guy is because that's their number one priority. And I know the reports have already shown the Hornets are going to pursue or try to pursue Rayshawn Holmes during the trade deadline. I think they're going to continue. Look, Rayshawn Holmes turned himself into a man this year, putting up career numbers with 14.2 points, 8.3 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.6 blocks, and zero point 0.6 steals, and only 29.2 per minutes per game. Okay, he's only 28 years old, and they could really use. They have about $31 million in cap space with Cody Zeller, Malik Monk, Biombo, Brad Wanamaker, Devonte Graham, Nick Richards, all coming off the books. And I expect Nick Richards, Grant Riller, and maybe Nate Darling back, but like Grant Riller and Nick Richards definitely coming back. And I think Rayshawn Holmes is going to solve that center issue right there because they could really promote Vernon Carey over here, who they have on a 3 more years to be the backup center with Nick Richards. And then you start Rayshawn Holmes, and you hopefully those guys. I think Nick Richards and Vernon Carey Jr. can definitely fill in that spot. Then over here, I think Terrence Davis. Look, Terrence Davis. There's Taylor Horton Tucker and Gary Trent that they could go for, but if they go for Rayshawn Holmes, I think Terrence Davis, another guy who played for the Kings last year, is a guy who plays with amazing intensity and averaged 11.1 points per game in 27 games with the Kings last year. Shot 43.9% from the field and 37.2 from three. Okay, and look, the Lakers kept Horton Tucker out of trade talks when they were trying to acquire Kyle Lowry, so his value is fairly high, and I think LA is tight on the money, so they're not going to pay up for him. And yes, he's not a great 3 point shooter, but he has the potential to grow into a versatile wing and ball handler, averaging 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists last year. And Gary Trent probably has the most upside. He exploded once he was traded to Toronto. He averaged 15.3 points per game, 38.5% last season between his time with the Raptors and Trailblazers. And there's also Duncan Robinson, but all those guys are unlikely. I really think Terrence Davis is somebody they could go for. Now, there's other people like Georges Niang who might get overpaid. He shot 42.5% on 4.1 attempts from three last year. So he's a guy who sucks at defense, but he can just hit the ball. Okay. And there's other guys like James Ennis, who's definitely going to leave Orlando. And he's a guy who shot 43.3% on 2.5 attempts last year. He's a scrappy veteran who brings good intensity and can provide some solid shooting and defense. He's like a decent defender. And same thing with Wesley Matthews, who had a down year on 3 point shooting with 33.5%. I mean, this is if they want to do a jump. I think really their best is bringing a guy like Terrence Davis and Rayshawn Holmes, two guys from Sacramento who would definitely just come in and do what would be needed. So let me hear, what do you guys think the Charlotte Hornets should do this year? I think really you need to fill out the roster around the starting lineup that I think is pretty freaking dominant, okay? Like, I love what they've done here. And James Borrego is a great head coach. And what they need to do is kind of do what I've said this for multiple teams, do what the Atlanta Hawks did and fill out the roster. I think they should draft Kai Jones. I know it's a little reach, but he's perfect. Look, their starting lineup is LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier. I think next year they might move Gordon Hayward to the bench, and I would start Miles Bridges, P.J. Washington, and Kai Jones, or if they bring in Rayshawn Holmes right here, Rayshawn Holmes, and then the bench would be Gordon Hayward, Kai Jones. That'd be your small forward and center. Then at power forward, you would have Jalen McDaniels. And shooting guard, you would have I had them bring in I'm like blanking on the other guy. Terrence Davis. And at point guard, you might want to bring in a point guard, but they also have like second round picks. Or I'm pretty sure they have second round picks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have a list. Yeah, they have 2 second round picks, and they could definitely snatch up a guy like Jason Preston, or they also have Grant Riller. Grant Riller could step in and be the new backup point guard. And Vernon Carey, Nick Richards, and Caleb Martin, Cody Martin could all work their way into that rotation. And I really think this team could be good. And they have so much money, so they really could go for big fishes. Like, I'm talking, they could go out there and just sign all of these players, you know? Because they have the ability to do that. And not a lot of teams do. The $31 million of cap space. And this is a team that legitimately has a chance of being this year's Atlanta Hawks, which honestly is something everybody should try to emulate, okay? And I think the best thing people should do is look at what the Atlanta Hawks did. Okay, the Atlanta Hawks switched everything upside down. People thought you had to take your time on these rebuilds that you had. You couldn't, do stuff on your player's rookie deal like they did. And you know what? They told people, nah, bro, we're just going to do it now. And it worked out. So, I want to hear your target, like your ideas, like down below. What do you guys think of what they did? I don't know if you guys just heard my dog. She's being a little bitch. She barks at everything that's outside, and it's like, you know what? Would annoying be the word? Yes, it's a little annoying. But I love her, she's my child. But yeah, let me hear, what do you guys think the Hornets should be doing? I think it's definitely going to be such an interesting year with the Hornets having this much. I really do think that they could be this year's Atlanta Hawks. So yeah, I want to hear, what do you guys think? I think it's going to be definitely interesting. Going to be a weird year. All we got to do is just milk this to, you know how it is, to 8 minutes, not 2 minutes. I'm like looking over. Sometimes it's so hard to figure out what's the best way to figure out the thumbnails, but I figured it out while I was talking to you guys right now. So again, guys, the Hornets, let me hear those thoughts. What do you guys think? I'm gonna just go chill. Got one more video to film. That actually rhymed accidentally, so that was funny. But yeah, I'm gonna peace out.